What's good, neighborhood? You back in the lab with your favorite neighbor, your man, Mark. Man, he is I am here. Another great episode of Breaking Beats. How y'all feel? What's the deal? All right, it appears we got an update when it comes to Tupac Shakur and the case against Keefe D. Suge Knight is speaking out from prison, and I'm gonna play what he had to say, and we'll come back with some more commentary.
Tell me what your reaction is to the arrest of Keefe D.
Well, surprise number one, because I didn't think Keefe D would never get arrested. Nor do I want to see him get arrested. You know, let's get one thing straight. First and foremost, you know, me and Keefe D played on the same Pop Warner football team. And whatever the circumstances, if he had an involvement with anything, if he didn't have any involvement with anything, who want to see? I wouldn't wish somebody going to prison on my worst enemy.
The DA says that Keefe D was in the car with his nephew, and that presumably his nephew, according to the DA, is the one that shot Tupac, and that it was done with the full knowledge of Keefe. Do they have it right?
It was only two people in the car. And Pac not going to tell the story. I ain't going to tell the story, but I tell you this. And I never had nothing bad to say about Orlando because, number one, he wasn't the shooter. Number two, he came to my hearing and told to let me go and tell the truth. They still didn't let me go.
If you are called to testify in this case,
I wouldn't be.
why not?
Yeah, I wouldn't be.
Why not?
Well, number one, because I'm not going to get on the stand and testify on somebody for what?
They seem to be saying that Orlando was the shooter and Keefe was in on it, that he had full knowledge of what was going down, and it was revenge for Orlando getting beaten up by Tupac and his team at the MGM after the Tyson fight. Is that correct?
No.
Then who shot Tupac?
It wasn't Anderson, so that's all I got to say about that part.
To summarize, you are saying Orlando was not the shooter, although you won't say who the shooter was. You are not saying whether Keefe was involved in any way in the shooting. And you are saying that if you're called to testify by either side, you will not comply, you will not testify. Do I have that right?
1,000%. I wouldn't go, I wouldn't testify, none of that. At the end of the day, free Keefe D.
All right, there you have it. I'm gonna play a little bit more of their reaction to this, and we'll come back with some more commentary.
You know what's really interesting is that he is pulling back from Keefe D's own statements,
right?
Which is,
but I will
bizarre.
say this. So Suge is saying it wasn't Orlando Anderson, which is something that has been widely believed on the streets and alleged in interviews. Keefe D himself has said it, that Orlando is the person who pulled the trigger, and Orlando Anderson died a couple of years after Tupac did,
right,
in a separate shooting.
I think everybody else in that car, there were 4 people in that car, and everybody's dead except Keefe.
Right.
And so now Keefe has said he was involved. Suge is intimating, at the very least, that he's not involved the way the DA thinks he was
so
involved.
The fact that Suge is saying, he's saying it's not Orlando Anderson.
Right.
I hear that. But he's not going to say who it is, which to me makes me feel like him saying it's not Orlando Anderson doesn't really carry as much weight either, because the reality is Suge is never going to snitch on anybody.
He's never going to snitch, and he's never going to testify. And that was clear.
Him not testifying, I would think that the DA in Las Vegas is not counting on Suge to be a material witness.
I think they're counting more on Keefe's own words.
Right.
I think
that's what they're going to lean into.
All right, there you have it. So you guys leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of this story. How do you feel about Suge Knight basically saying, I'm not going to help. I'm not testifying for or against Keefe D. Is that the code of the streets? That's how he's supposed to be? Or is that how he has to be because he is in prison himself right now? Also, let me know, what do you guys think of this case? Do y'all think Keefe D is going to face any time in prison for his involvement in this case? Just to give you a little bit of the timeline, this happened back again. This happened in 1996. He confessed in 2008 under a proffer agreement between the U.S. attorney and Officer Greg Caden. He was under the impression that he got immunity, I guess. They said, no, you didn't have immunity. We gave you a proffer for you just to give us some information in regards to this drug case. He was facing like a life sentence, according to Greg Caden, for this drug case. He gave him that information, went about his day. Now, where he messed up was that proffer was only for right now in this room with us. You can't go out publicly and just start confessing in interviews and books, and he confessed over and over and over and over and over again. And I think that's where it's gonna get him messed up at, because he didn't have immunity with Las Vegas, Clark County, the district attorney for that city, state, in that area right there. It's a sticky situation, but y'all leave me a comment. Let me know what y'all think of the story. It's your man Martin Nash, Breaking Beats. Also, let me know if y'all think he's gonna do any time. How do you feel about Keefe D? Do you think Keefe D was the shooter? Do you think it was Keefe D? Was it Big Dre the driver? Was Keefe D he telling enough of it where he just says, hey, it's not me? Because basically he has put the gun in his hand. Put the gun in his hand. He told the story over and over, man. He tells the story how, and he tells it so detailed, and he tells it the same way. They got jumped. They was looking for. They got together. Got the gun from somebody. Went and tried to get the. Went and got some to drink. Went to the club looking for him. The guys never showed up to the club. So what they decided to do was leave. As they were leaving, they see Tupac hanging out the window. Where they hear some girls saying, "Hey, Tupac, Tupac." They look and see him hanging out the window. They bust a Huey, pull up beside him. He hands the gun to the driver. The driver gets cold feet. His nephew takes the gun away from the He reaches over across whoever, because his nephew is in the rear passenger seat. So he reaches over the rear driver's seat, fires the shots. They drove off. He tells the story over and over and over again. I think he might have came back to haunt him though. Wow. It's your man Martin Nash, Breaking Beats. Y'all leave me a comment. Let me know what y'all think of the story. I'll see you on the next one. Rest in peace, Tupac. Hope his family, his friends and loved ones get the justice they most certainly have been looking for about 27 years, right? Wow. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.